I'm hungry.
Looking for a stocking stuffer that is fun, original, and festively tasty? Look no further than the little green box. It's Jelly Belly's Holiday Favorites, a jolly mix of 5 tantalizing holiday-inspired flavors that will surely put your mouth in the mood for Christmas. Happy holidays from your friends at Jelly Belly, the original gourmet jelly bean.
My apologies, I realize it takes my brain a little longer to catch up to normal human speed. You're probably wondering why I have all these Christmas decorations and items littered about, when it's nowhere even close to being Christmas! Sure, last year and years prior my Christmas specials have often been late, sometimes up to 3 months late, but this one, it happens to be... Math no good. You might remember, and I hate to keep bringing this up, episode 171, I happen to be trapped in a nether realm, and that's the reason why this show went on such a long hiatus. For me, it was hundreds of years, but in Limbo time, yeah, it amounted to just a few months, but still, a whole lot of time! And when I came back, there was a glut of backlogged Divinity Crate items. I've been going through them one by one, not even looking at what the next one is, until I review it. And it wasn't until I came across this item in my wicker basket, Jelly Belly Holiday Favorites, did I realize I missed Christmas last year. My favorite time of year! You know how important Christmas is to me? Most people measure their age in a thing called a year, 365 days from the day they were born, and the number goes up by 1. Kinda stupid when you break it down, right? To judge one's age by the speed of a ball of mud hurtling through space? No, I measure my life by the amount of Christmases I've experienced. When I make it to another Christmas, I give myself a good pat on the back for a job well done, and my number goes up by 1. Well, after the year that I've had, I sure as hell am not living this one all over again! So, what's a pseudo-entertainer intent on entertaining to do? I went into my garage, I got my decorations, my lights, my garland, my freaking tree, and I painstakingly put it all up just for the sake of this video! Ladies, gentlemen, and tiny tots with their eyes all aglow. Jeez, that's gotta suck. Doesn't that burn? Anyway, here is DJ Clive's very late Christmas special. And this special will be scored by music from a game that I'm unable to play on my Raspberry Pi. Gotta be a damn computer hacker to figure out the Sharp X68000. Give it up for the jolly schmuppy sounds of Illumination Laser! And you know, give it up for me while you're at it, because you gotta know there isn't a transparent PNG image for a title on such an obscure game, meaning that I had to cut this title out by hand. Look at it, and feel my pain, ladies and gentlemen. It's still on screen because I just want to get the most out of it that I can. Oh look, it's fading away! Bye-bye, Illumination Laser. It's good seeing you. I'm not looking forward to doing that. Jelly Belly Holiday Favorites Jelly Beans. We're doing this again. You might remember last year's holiday special, I did a top 10 on the moments of 2020. And what was the number one moment that beat out a whole bunch of hard hitters that year? It was none other than the Jelly Belly Jelly Bean review that I did on those Harry Potter jelly beans. I don't know, I hold that episode in high esteem because I feel like it's perfectly paced. Like, because I put some timer on myself, like I had that little timer in the corner of the screen, I didn't get too long-winded about every flavor, and it just flowed nicely. It was almost an hour long, but you didn't know that watching it. In a truly turgid year, it was a notably good episode. So what did I do? I went and I reviewed those hot Jelly Belly jelly beans, and now I'm reviewing these Jelly Belly jelly beans! Haven't you ever heard of the term beating a dead horse? Or maybe in this case, a dead reindeer? That reindeer is laying on the ground dead and I'm smacking it in the head with a shovel so hard, I'm practically burying it to the core of the earth! So to avoid this becoming another marathon, I guess we're gonna do it the same way we do it in years prior. I'm going to go through every one of these flavors one by one and say a little tiny bit of something about them. I'm not gonna give each one its own individual star rating. I'm just gonna grade the overall experience at the end. Some really weird flavors this time around, but you gotta think that the folks at Jelly Belly were kinda grasping at straws because honestly, are there really that many holiday-themed foods on the planet? Not really. So I guess without further ado, we're just gonna go on with the first flavor and rattle them off one by one, and you wanna do the poetry again this year? Yeah, let's do some holiday poetry while we're at it.
They come spilling out of your big horn o'plenty. If you dare try one, you'll be trying 20. They taste so darn good, you'll wonder, oh why? Why did they make beans tasting like pumpkin pie?
I met a man who lived in Tennessee, and he was heading for Pennsylvania and some homemade pumpkin pie.
Why does every old crooner sound like that? Tastes like every pumpkin spice thing that you can think of, like pumpkin spice beer, pumpkin spice granola, pumpkin spice chocolate. If you could somehow surgically remove the pumpkin spice from those items and isolate it, that's what this tastes like. Like we all know, the taste of pumpkin is a lie. You're tasting more like a brown sugary kind of taste. But they didn't lie to you. They didn't say that this was just pumpkin. They said it was a pumpkin pie. It does taste like a pumpkin pie. I gotta give them a little bit of credit for that. It tastes good in a vacuum, and at the same time, I think it'll taste good while playing amongst others. Because you always know there's always that one flavor that kind of bastardizes your entire mouth, much like the black chuckles. There's always that one weird flavor, and you'd think with pumpkin pie flavored jelly beans, that might be the flavor, but no, I think if you were to inhale like a bunch of handfuls of these jelly beans, it won't take over your mouth like you think it would. So I think that gets some pretty good praise from yours truly, and on to the next one.
This you can eat in this year to expire, or perhaps you can by a crackling fire. Perhaps you can eat one in your latest blog. It's non-alcoholic delicious eggnog!
Yes, sir, have some eggnog. I f***ing hate eggnog, seriously.
Alright, a very weird first impression, I'll give it that, but as you chew it, it gets actually really good. I don't know if this really tastes like eggnog though. Kind of more tastes like marshmallow peep. Like maybe a nullified marshmallow peep of some sort without all that crispy sugar on the outside, mostly just the fluff that's on the inside. I'm not gonna knock it, I think it tastes good, and the prospect of an eggnog flavored jelly bean, I thought this was gonna be my least favorite of the bunch, but I kinda like it better than that pumpkin pie one. Kind of a tough thing to grade. I mean, yeah, it tastes pretty damn good, but it doesn't taste like what it's supposed to taste like, so you gotta knock points off for that. So the math is constantly running in my brain, the gears are spinning, the pistons are pumping, and we're gonna go down the line and hopefully it doesn't get any more complicated than it needs to be.
It's the part of your feast that you always forget, but could right well be the best jelly bean yet. So everyone please stand up and applause for this jelly bean flavored cranberry sauce!
Oh, you forgot cranberries too? Suddenly we laughed and laughed and turned on what was happening. Christmas magic, blah blah blah, and then a happy ending.
I think I'm fortunate that I don't know the lyrics to that one. Not one of my favorites. These are delicious! And you know what? I think you gotta give these major props because I can't think of any other cranberry flavored candy, can you? The folks at Jelly Belly have the market cornered on the cranberry flavored candy! And yeah, I mean, cranberry isn't anyone's favorite go-to fruit. I mean, it's not my favorite go-to fruit. But as a candy, it lends itself to those artificial flavors very, very well. It's got that really hard bite. Kind of tastes like a cherry candy. In fact, if you didn't tell me what this was, I'd just say it was a very strong cherry candy. But it really lends itself to a candy taste very well. I've never had a cranberry flavored candy in my life. I could eat a whole box of this. If I had just one grown-up Christmas wish, I would wish that cranberry candies became the norm and that everybody was eating them. And then I would kick myself for making such a lame wish. On to the next one.
In the crisp, bitter cold of a long winter's night, there lie little candies which I yearn to bite. In a box small enough to fit in a pocket, you'll hoot and you'll holler for yummy hot chocolate.
Oh, we got it!
Hot, hot,
Oh, we got it!
hot, hot,
Oh, we got it!
hot chocolate.
Here we only have one roll!
Here we only have one rule.
Never ever let it cool!
Never ever let it cool.
See it boiling in the pot! Shaka-da, shaka-da! Ah-cha-cha-cha! Something about the chocolate-flavored candy. Chocolate is chocolate. Chocolate stands on its own island, made of chocolate. When a candy tries to become chocolate, it turns into a Tootsie Roll, almost 100% of the time. That's what I'm fast learning, because I had those Oreo-flavored candy canes like 2 or 3 years ago, and they tasted like Tootsie Rolls. Something about, I don't know, the creaminess of chocolate, they just haven't been able to nail that. Does it taste delicious? Yeah, it tastes delicious. In fact, I would gladly eat a whole box of them. But to me, it kind of pales in comparison to all the flavors that we've tried thus far. Even the pumpkin pie and the eggnog, which I wasn't all high on. I think they leave this in the dust because it's not really Christmassy. I mean, hot chocolate, there's nothing more Christmassy than regular hot chocolate. I mean, you figure you're out in the winter, it's really cold outside, maybe you just come in after shoveling snow, you come into a nice warm hot chocolate, and what speaks better to winter than that? That's something that you drink this time of year ad nauseum. But unless you could simulate the taste of heat, which is impossible, unless you're gonna add some of that sriracha in there, or like some of those habanero jelly beans that I've had, and that's the wrong kind of heat. You don't want to add that to hot chocolate. And it's just gonna be a Tootsie Roll flavored jelly bean. There's nothing holiday about that. You know what, if I were a fantasy book for a second, I wouldn't just make it hot chocolate, I'd make it wintry hot chocolate, and I'd add like kind of a note of mint, like in the background. Like you ever have like go like to an expensive restaurant and they give you like a hot chocolate with a candy cane hanging out the side of it, and it tastes like all festive and delicious, got like a little tone of mint in the background. Doesn't that just scream holidays to you? That would be freaking awesome. They kind of dropped the ball on this. Well, I don't know for hot chocolate, but I know one thing that's on fire. Me burning through this special 4 down and 1 to go. Care to take a peek at what it is with me? Care to crease that wrapping paper ever so slightly and like catch the logo of something? Take a tiny little peek before opening on Christmas Day? I did that one time as a kid, and it was my Cabbage Patch Kid ColecoVision game, one of the best damn gifts I ever got. Thanks, Mom. Let's see what it is.
What better way to ring in Christmas to me? A flavor straight off of a Christmas tree. It goes from your taste buds and into your brain. Pink jelly's flavored of the candiest cane.
Candy canes and evergreen paint a lovely picture of an old familiar scene. Christmas time, wherever you may be.
It's Johnny Mathis. It's kind of like one of his B-sides. Hell yeah! Now that, swallowing some spit, that is what I'm talking about. You know what? I gotta say, of all the jelly beans in this set, in a kind of sort of weird way, this is my least favorite. But of all the things listed, this tastes the most like what it's supposed to be. It's like the weird sensation of putting a candy cane in your mouth, only instead of it being hard, it turns to goo and you can chew it. And it makes your mouth all wintry fresh. If I were to breathe in, feels all nice and cold. You can almost tell just by looking at the colors. You see those tiny little speckles in there, those green little flecks? Kind of reminds you of Aquafresh, like it has those little tiny like speckles in there. You know just by looking at it how minty fresh it's gonna be. Well guys, that just about does it. I tried all 5 flavors, they've all gone down the gullet, and now I've got some thinking to do. How the heck do I grade this? I mean, there's so many factors that I have to keep in mind. Does it taste good? Does it taste bad? Does it taste like what it's supposed to taste like? And does it taste Christmassy? I gotta factor in all those factors and put them into a giant wadded ball and contabulate a grade somehow out of that. It's like untangling the extension cord that you bring down from the attic when you're putting up your Christmas tree. And you know what? I guess this is gonna be a little awkward, but you folks at home are just gonna have to sit here and watch me think because I have no ideas for what I'm gonna segue to next. Festive holiday drink. I'm afraid afraid I don't know what you mean. Oh yeah, I do remember that. Jello pulled that on me one Christmas special a while back. But I have nothing to review here. I mean, there is that Dunkin' Donuts Holiday Blend coffee that they're selling this year, but I've had it, and to be honest, there's nothing really notable about it. It doesn't give me any ammunition. How the heck did you throw that without arms? Wow, Squinkies, I don't know what to say. I mean, thank you. I didn't get you anything. Oh, they're all for me. Squinkies, normally I keep this kind of stuff to myself, but this is the kind of gift that you don't want. This is like being a kid and opening up a package that is like the shape of a Super Nintendo cartridge, and you open it up and there's freaking socks in it. This is like underwear in your stocking. This is like losing lottery tickets. I hate Mountain Dew.
Not many know of the enchanted magical dew that forms on the sparse blades of grass peeking out the snowy crags of Mount Crumpet. The delicious tastes of what's sure to be an annual holiday tradition, Mountain Dew Gingerbread Snapped. Everyone's favorite sugary soft drink, uniquely spiced up with a light taste of gingerbread cookies. It is a taste that is sure to go down oh so cool, yet warm the soul even better than a fireplace.
Coca-Cola is the flavor of cola. Sunkissed is the flavor of orange. Dr. Pepper is kind of sort of its own thing, kind of like a black cherry-ish kind of taste. As far as I know, Mountain Dew, their flavor has always just been too much flavor! It's like having one fistful of Pez and another fistful of Smarties, opening your mouth real wide and pounding them into your face, and any inter-candy spot that has like a tiny little bit of space where you can fit something, you shove some Fun Dip in there, and you swallow it? That's the taste of Mountain Dew! Remember Mountain Dew Code Red? Do they still make that? I'm sweating just thinking about it. Doesn't it feel like it goes straight through you into your pores? I could swear that it kind of made your sweat a little syrupy as well, maybe even put a little bit of a red tint to it. I do really love the Baja Blast Mountain Dew, but for whatever reason you can only get it at Taco Bell. What if I'm not in the mood for tacos? So you can't even do that right! And even the name Mountain Dew, does that really sound at all appetizing to you? It just sounds to me kind of douchey. Mountain douchey, I guess. And here I'm looking at Mountain Dew Ginger Snapped. What could this possibly taste like? Festive holiday Mountain Dew with a poo brown label. Isn't that just what I wanted, folks? Well, at least the Mountain Dew itself is kind of clear or whitish. If it were brown, I think I would toss my lunch. I guess I should thank Squinkies for giving this to me, because this is going to be a good way to build my way up to reviewing the main portion of the program. There's so many factors that I have to take into account here, and you know what? Even if this tastes bad, if it tastes like what it's supposed to taste like gingerbread men, and if it tastes Christmassy, I gotta give it major points for that. As a matter of fact, there's a good chance that I might end up hating this, and this might end up getting like a 3.5 star rating. Well, time to pop the top and we'll take a smell ski together. Ooh, full Ninja Ginger! This smells like a big overflowing cornucopia. A horn o' plenty full of pumpkins and spice. Kinda smells like potpourri. And just in true Mountain Dew fashion, they didn't screw around. They're gonna do it as strong as possible. It's gonna take over whatever the hell is in its vicinity. If you left this thing uncapped in your car, it's gonna freshen your car with that new car scent for probably over a year. If you drink this, it's gonna run its way into every vein and capillary in your body. It's gonna turn your blood milky white. If you had a regular Mountain Dew, it's gonna turn your blood green. If you had a Code Red Mountain Dew, it could turn a Klingon's blood red. It smells horrible. It doesn't smell like it should be able to be tasted. It's got such a strong, spicy, chemically kind of smell. I don't want to lick it. I don't want to put a speckle of it on my tongue. And it feels like it would be poisonous to do that. But I gotta take into account, it's probably gonna be disgusting, but is it gonna taste festive? Is it gonna be Christmassy? There's a good chance it could still get a good grade, so I'm gonna take a swig of it, and we're gonna all find out together. Thanks a lot, Squinkies, for this, by the way. I'm gonna be bouncing off the damn walls because I don't take to caffeine very well. This is practically an energy drink. Where did the smell go? The smell, this horrible waft of odor that was coming through this bottle is not reflected at all in the taste. As a matter of fact, it tastes kind of light. I've said this before in prior reviews about other products. It's one of these items that you really have to think about the taste as you're putting it into your body because it's easy to forget that it's there. This ginger taste is so light in the background, you have to keep that in your mind as you're drinking it. Normally I say that's a negative. In this case, it's probably its biggest positive. If you keep that ginger taste in your mind as you drink this, when you take your swig, it's gonna dance all over your tongue. It's not gonna overdo it. It's not gonna underdo it. It's gonna be just right. Just like Baby Bear's bed and Baby Bear's porridge. Tastes like a ginger ale that's 2/3 ginger ale, 1/3 water, and a little sprinkle of extra sugar in there. So if I'm gonna give this a star rating, I have to give it pretty high props. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I almost wanted to say 4.5 because my mind really kind of wanted to push it over that line, but I gotta keep in mind, it is Mountain Dew and I would much rather be drinking a Coke anyway. If there was any other like Coke product or like a cherry Coke in front of me, a holiday spice Pepsi, don't even get me started on that. That is way more festive than something like this. But still, for a Mountain Dew product, this knocked my socks off. I mean, my striped holiday socks are on the roof somewhere. And sadly, it's just me in Limbo right now, and I've lost any ability to go and fraternize and be in a party with people. But you know what? With, all this disease in the air and just the state of the world as it is, even if I were alive in the land of the living, I probably still wouldn't be going to parties and enjoying, boisterous conversations with friends anymore, not until things normalize, but I can put myself in the position of being in that party and socializing and everybody having a bottle of this and drinking and being merry and just a holiday festive ambiance in the air, dimly lit and with only illuminated by holiday lights, and maybe there's a big Christmas tree much like this one around. I can totally picture myself enjoying this on the holidays. It is quite a festive drink. I'm glad I was able to try it. Will I try it again? Maybe if someday I do return to the world of the living and I can I could be with friends again, I will remember this drink and I will bring a 6-pack and I will drink and pass them around and spread the word of this delicious drink to everybody. And now it is time to move on to the main event. And you know what? That Mountain Dew review is just what the doctor ordered. It's gonna make this task really, really easy for me. I as well am gonna give this 4 stars. And why? First off, I gotta get this out of the way. The prior Jelly Belly products that I've had on this show, they've all had some kind of weird game involved with them. The hot jelly beans is all about how much heat can you take, or there was those original Jelly Belly jelly beans where one was gross and the other one was delicious and they both looked identical. Which one do you get? Well, I'm not gonna penalize, I'm not gonna take any points off for this because there clearly is no game here. It's just a silly little novelty. If I were to take points off for that, it would be very, very dickish. I'd kind of be as shallow as a Who in Whoville. And the flavor is pretty much balanced out to be mostly okay. I think the high point here is the candy cane, if I didn't make that obvious before, even though my favorite is obviously the cranberry sauce. The low point was definitely the hot chocolate, because how do you make hot chocolate jelly beans? It's just a losing proposition to begin with. So if this balances out to be merely okay, just screams average, then why am I not giving it the most average score I can give it? Why am I not giving it 2.5 stars right now? Well, partially because it's Christmas, kinda, sorta, and I'm feeling kind of generous. But above all else, it's because it feels festive, it feels Christmassy. Could you picture one of these little tiny boxes, or maybe a bunch of these boxes inside the toe of your stocking? It would be a perfect Christmas gift. And yeah, I didn't like the pumpkin pie that much. The hot chocolate, it kind of tasted humdrum, but you know what? There's just something right about this. This is something that you enjoy on the holidays and no other time of year. It just tastes like the correct thing to do. It's like, for example, if I were to take off this Christmas tree a candy cane and suckle on it. Do I really enjoy it when I do that? Very seldom do I. As a matter of fact, I kind of consider a candy cane being a major inconvenience, because after you've eaten a candy cane, it affects your taste buds for the whole rest of the day, if not a couple hours afterward. You can't eat or drink anything else because you're still gonna have that weird minty freshness in your mouth. So if I hate it so much, why the hell do I do it? Because it's Christmas time and it feels right. Well, I guess we all learned a little something special here today, folks. When it comes to tradition, something doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. As a matter of fact, sometimes it's better when it's a little bit imperfect. It's the art of wabi-sabi all over again. Sometimes the littlest imperfection can equal its own perfection. why do people eat poi when they go to Hawaii? Nobody likes the taste of poi, but something about it makes you feel festive. It makes you feel like you're in the tropical isles. Don't you have, like, don't all of us out there have some kind of smell, like, that might not be a good smell to somebody else, but to us it's really good because it brings us back to a point in our youth? As for me, I love the smell of mothballs. Most people do not like the smell of mothballs, but I love it because it reminds me of my grandma. And her house always smelled like mothballs. She was always free to let us roam around her house, and her house was really big and cavernous, all sorts of nooks and crannies to hide away in. We'd always go into her closets and they always smelled like mothballs. It felt like you were at grandma's house, and from this day forth, every time that I smell a mothball, I feel young again. And the thing is with this, I can picture this being a holiday tradition for other people too. For every holiday to come around, for they to revisit with their friends pumpkin pie, eggnog, cranberry sauce, hot chocolate, candy canes.
So now I address me familiar. I live my life one Christmas at a time.
And even though I missed last Christmas, I believe that this special more than makes up for it. With this special, I have advanced 1 unit older, and I'm glad we were able to experience it together. This is your good buddy DJ Clive saying Feliz Navidad to the viewing public and a happy 2022. Who knows what this new year will bring for us. Hopefully it is prosperous. Hopefully things will normalize a little bit. As for me, I know what's coming. And I know this year is pivotal for me. For fans of the Bravo channel, I'm sure we will all never forget the year of 2022. The year where your good buddy DJ Clive finally What the hell do you want? You never come out. But I... I really do that. Can I just say in my defense, why are you being so mean to me? Oh! Can you believe he really said